Am I the asshole for yelling at my mom that I hate Harry Potter and to let me live my own life? As my title suggests, my mom is a huge Harry Potter nut. She and my dad actually met in a Harry Potter, quote unquote, IRC. It's like Discord, but for old people. In the early 2000s, got married, had kids, and from day one decided to embarrass us for life by naming us after some Harry Potter and Star Wars characters. It's honestly been hell. I have a stupid name, and since we were little, my parents have forced stuff like Harry Potter, Star Wars, Marvel movies, etc., down our throats. Everything is about dragons and magic and blah, blah, blah. I am so sick of it. Every birthday, every holiday, everything is just organized around fandom. So, just like every Christmas, the days leading up to Christmas, we have to sit down every night and watch Harry Potter movies. It's so effing boring. I can usually get away with knitting or drawing on my iPad during this, but this year my mom was like, let's just have a technology and distraction-free night every single night. I arranged to go over to my friend Missy's house instead for like 2 nights. Missy's family is normal and likes things a normal amount. My mom got really mad and started talking about how it's a family tradition and how I'm basically rejecting her, and went on her whole thing about how you wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Harry Potter. I finally had it and just yelled, "Nobody cares that you were a big name in the Harry Potter fan club. I don't like Harry Potter. I don't like Star Wars. I hate Marvel movies. They're all so boring. Please just let me have my own interests." I couldn't help it. I started crying because I was just so frustrated because everything always has to be about Harry Potter, this, Star Wars, that, and now that we're all older, they started doing Game of Thrones. Everything is centered around some kind of movie or TV show or book series. Just once, I want my family to band around something that doesn't have to do with media or these nerdy things. We live in Utah where we have like 5 national parks, and even though I ask every year for my birthday, I have never even been to Arches. Well, my sister called me saying that mom was angry and to just come home and to stop with the theatrics. I told her that I'm sick of having all this old, quote unquote, nerd stuff crammed down my throat. And just once, I want to have a normal time watching a normal Christmas movie and not having to pause for, quote unquote, lightsaber battles. So, am I the asshole for yelling at my mom that I hate Harry Potter and to let me live my own life? Top comment coming in with 35,000 upvotes. Not the asshole. And your post is a great warning for all those people still thinking about naming their kid Anakin or Khaleesi. You're allowed to have your own interests, and your parents aren't making life easier by forcing things like that on you. Edit. RIP my inbox. I had no idea Anakin was such a popular name. Next comment, 4,000 upvotes. I teach, and suddenly this year there are a lot of SMEs coming up. I did the math, and yes, conceived between 11 and 12 years ago. Peak Twilight. Next comment, 2,000 upvotes. At least it's not Renesmee, am I right? Next comment, 7,000 upvotes. There are so many terrible female names in Harry Potter. I hope your name is more like Virginia, Guinea, than, say, Minervia. I feel for you. I'm likely the same age as your parents. Your parents were probably bullied or mocked for their nerdy interests in the 90s, definitely by peers, maybe by parents. They're doing exactly the same thing to you. Have you ever addressed it in those terms, told them that they're acting like little jocks in the 80s, but it's so much worse because you are their child? My vote, this kid isn't the asshole. Let me know what you guys think. The asshole for asking my son and daughter-in-law for a copy of the key to the new house that they bought. 2 weeks ago, my son, Ethan, 27, and his wife, Jess, 30, bought a small one-story house in the town we live in. After settling down, they invited us for a small party for the occasion. We sat for dinner and talked about the house a bit. Me, my husband, and Jess continued conversing after Ethan excused himself to take an important call. Jess showed me the original key to the house, and I asked if she made copies yet, and she said no. I said she should, and also give one copy to me as well. She looked at me funny and asked why she should. I explained that it is necessary so that it could be used in an emergency. She rudely said, I don't know what kind of an emergency that would require you having a key to our house. Sure won't be a fire incident. She obviously didn't seem to have any idea that a fire incident wasn't what I meant, and I got offended by her sarcasm. I pointed out that it's not just her decision because this is my son's house as well. She smiled at me, trying to be polite, and stated that only the ones who contributed toward the house get a copy of the key, and that I don't really need one anyway. She also assured me that my son will have the same answer for me, basically saying, don't bother bringing this up with Ethan. He'll tell you the same thing. But I did, and she spoke on his behalf the entire argument, repeating what she said over and over and over again. Things escalated to her calling me pushy and me telling her she was being unnecessarily rude and disrespectful. My husband and I left in a rush, and I felt horrible. My husband went on and on about how paranoid and controlling I was to basically be demanding a copy of the key to the new house. But again, I stated that I was just trying to be helpful and taking extra precautions since anything could happen. But he insisted that I overstepped and ruined Ethan and Jess's joy for their new house, as well as dinner. I genuinely do not think it was out of line, and I'm not sure why Jess reacted so intensely. I think my request was innocent. So, am I the asshole for asking my son and daughter-in-law for a copy of the key to the new house that they bought? Top comment coming in with 43,000 upvotes. My husband went on and on about how paranoid and controlling I was to basically be demanding a copy of the key to the new house. He's right. You're the asshole. Next comment, 35,000 upvotes. It's all about phrasing. Do people offer copies of their keys to trusted family members in case they get locked out / need their plants watered, etc.? Yes, definitely. The key word is offer, though. You said to 2 adults, you'll need to give me a copy of your key, which is why you're the asshole. And then you double down by continuing to push. Even if you had said, hey, If you wanted us to keep a copy of the key for you for emergencies and then left it alone, you wouldn't be the asshole. So phrasing, and I imagine tone. Next comment, 10,000 upvotes. This is exactly what I was going to say. If she had phrased it as advice and suggested that they offer a key to a close friend or neighbor in case of emergencies, then it would have been taken completely differently. She demanded a key, which makes OP look creepy and seem like they want to look around the house while they're gone. OP, you're the asshole. Next comment, 12,000 upvotes. Quote unquote, things escalated to her calling me pushy and telling me she was being unnecessarily rude and disrespectful. It's all about the attitude. OP is both pushy and unnecessarily rude and disrespectful of their boundaries. It's their house. She doesn't get to demand copies of the key. That was out of line. Offer in case of emergency, yes. Demand, no. It seems like OP is really disrespectful to daughter-in-law in general. She thinks that Ethan's call can overrule Jess's and he has more of a say regarding the house. You're the asshole.